Hi everyone, this is Ryan Chambers with California Citizens for Water. So today we're going to look at the Swainson's hawk, and this hawk was named after William Swainson, a British naturalist, and as you can see it's also called the grasshopper hawk or locust hawk because that's what it eats a lot of. And some unique things about this hawk, um, and the reason why I'm covering it today is because it's one of the endangered species that live in the Del Puerto Canyon Reservoir area and other parts of California. And it basically is one of the only endangered species in the area, so it seems to be of great concern. Now, these Swainson hawks are very unique in the sense that they have one of the longest migration distances. So they travel all the way to like Brazil or Argentina, and that's like, I believe they said like 7,000 miles or something. Okay, so it's thousands of miles. It's very far. Um, so It looks like it descended from an ancestor of the Galapagos hawk. So they call that because the Galapagos Islands. And it's basically a raptor. So it looks similar to other hawks like the red-tailed hawk. And it has a slightly longer wingspan but it's slightly shorter than another hawk like the red-tailed hawk. So what's odd is that the female Swainson hawks are actually bigger and heavier than the males, because in most species it's often the opposite, not always though, or about the same. Okay, it yeah, peregrine falcons travel a little bit longer distance than the Swainson's hawk, but they have the second longest migration period, and they leave the breeding grounds from August to October. And let's scroll down a little bit. They eat, so they kind of could live in a lot of different places: deserts, grasslands, prairies, near agriculture. So they have been seen using some smart tactics. For example, when there's farming going on, they might wait for a tractor to mow over an animal and then like drive over an animal or something, or tear it up, and then they're like waiting from their perch like on a telephone pole or a tree or whatever. A lot of times they hunt in a way that doesn't require a lot of energy, like soaring in the sky. They just sit and look around from their perch, and when they find an opportunity, they go for it. So they've even been seen when there's wildfires, uh, taking advantage of all the chaos and the burning mess, and scattering insects and try to eat as many as they can during that period. And so, as I said before, they often eat insects, locusts, and other insects. They can eat larger things than that, though. Okay, let's look at what else they eat. Yeah, dragonflies, dobson flies, bats. And how they might hunt some of these animals is they might use their talons to grab the prey and then drag them up to their beak and hold them with that. And let's scroll down. Yeah, they feed on rodents, which are bigger than most insects, and sometimes young, like jackrabbits or other animals that get a little bit bigger. And sometimes, too, when there's owls that live in their area, they have to compete with them, and the owls might, who knows, compete for nests or eat their eggs or whatever. So that's also why they're not as high as they could be in their numbers. Let's keep scrolling down. They're mostly monogamous. So their lifespan looks to be um, usually less than 26 years. So it looks like the range is, well, it's about 9.2 years, give or take. Actually, a lot of variance with that. So it might be a lot less, it might be a lot more, but on average, it looks like it's 9.2 years. And their population has decreased also because of traffic, illegal shooting, electrocution, certain weather conditions. But if we're talking about man-made like reasons, hailstorms wouldn't really count. So that's, I suppose, a valid reason, but not something that we can really control. So if we want to focus on something that we can actually control, we can control the amount of illegal shooting, electrocution, traffic, but I don't believe they get electrocuted that much because the telephone the telephone wires are significantly far apart, so they would have to like lean over and touch the other side of the other line and die like that, which I suppose is possible because they're a bigger bird than a lot of the other birds that sit on telephone poles. But the main reason seems to be other human based reasons like habitat loss, traffic, probably not a lot of illegal shooting or electrocution. Um, Also competition with other animals. Okay, so also more common reasons would be pesticide use of the food that it eats. So when it eats insects that have pesticide in them because they might live near agricultural lands, they ingest that, they get sick, and they can die off from that. So a lot of reasons for the Swainson's hawk being endangered, but like the kit fox, it's of least concern. So it it could be more threatened, but it still is pretty significant because there's very few species that are even listed as endangered near the San Joaquin Valley, at least when it comes to the Del Puerto Canyon Reservoir. So this animal definitely deserves a good look, and I wanted to cover it because not many people know much about the Swainson's hawk. It's something that really needs to be covered. Thank you for watching.